What a bloody palaver. Seriously. What a bloody palaver. Philip is shaking his head in disgust.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No,
absolutely palaver. I hit the wrong button.
All right, nice.
I went to do something then. I ended up pressing enter. Yeah, it's a new thing we're used to. I'm not used to what it is. I got modelled up in what we were doing. But anyway, how are you? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Thfc Till I Die. Do you know what, Philip? You host it. Go on. I'll let you host. Go on. I'm going to say nothing. You're the host.
No,
go on.
Now he tells me. Yeah.
No,
good evening,
as a little surprise for you. You host it.
Yeah, thanks. I think actually what might have happened in the previous thing with some of the comments that came in earlier may have disappeared now. So if we don't read out your comment, apologies. This is a technical thing. We don't see them anymore once we change it over the stream number. So anyway, one more game to go, I think, in the FA Cup, and we'll be interested to see who we get in the draw next tomorrow night at 10-8. Commiserations to Arsenal today, who were beaten, and I'm so glad to see you finally realise that the white shirts rule North London. So anyway, any more on that? We've got some transfer news to bring you. As you know, Spurs are in the hunt for at least 2 players, maybe more, and one of them I think is pretty close to signing. I think his medical is tomorrow, and that is Timo Werner, the 27-year-old German international who previously played for Chelsea, but we're not going to hold that against him. Not yet, anyway. And is presently with FB Leipzig, and will be coming over to Tottenham in quite a surprise move. Took us all by surprise there 48 hours ago that this was happening, but it just shows you Ange is not hanging around, and his fingerprints are all over this one, Dermot, as far as I can see. This is Ange's transfer.
Yeah. Philip, what made you feel he went for that? What made you feel he went for that transfer? Was it Richie on Friday? Was it what was the because this transfer's come out of nowhere?
It has, yeah. I think it's a mixture of a couple of things. One, Sonny been away for a month. They're always going to miss Sonny. We missed him on Friday night. Richie misfiring a little bit. I know he scored a few goals, but he should have added to it on Friday and didn't. But I have to think, I think this was in the pipeline before Friday. I don't think it's happened. So? No, I think so. Yeah, I think this has been because that's basically he's a member of the Leipzig squad. I think he's only scored twice in 12 games. He is a bit hit and miss in front of the goal. But I've been reading up some stuff that what the ex-Chelsea players have said about him, and they reckon he's a fantastic work rate. He's a very quick player as well, and if he can settle down and get a good supply, he will score goals. So that's what we want. Because the alternatives really are tried and untested. Velez is injured now for 3 months, maybe with his ligaments. Dane Scarlett is back, but again, it's pretty much untested at Premiership level. So I think it's a great move for us. It gives us more options up front.
Yeah. Where do you think he may play in the middle, Philip? And look, I was so shocked when I saw this news yesterday, and of all days for the internet to play up. And thank you for the letter to Virgin, by the way. It did work. I'm just letting you know your letter to Virgin worked. But I couldn't believe it when I got given news this, and I was thinking, what? Where the hell has this come from? And then I heard that it was a very quick transfer. It only happened in the last 48 hours. Do you think Paritici's behind it as well? Do you think he's pulling the string?
Yeah. It's a joint effort. I mean, Anne's just come along and said, listen, I need a centre forward. This is what he must have, list of attributes. Werner fits the bill. He's available. We've obviously made contact with Leipzig. He's available. We're paying his wages to the end of the month, and it's a loan to buy, but no obligation to buy. So if he's a hit, we'll probably buy him. It's only 12 or 13 million, and if he's not a hit, we send him back. So it's a win-win for Tottenham. It really is.
So there is a loan, because I heard yesterday there was no loan to buy. So there is a loan to buy him.
There's a loan, but no obligation to buy. There's no obligation to buy, So anyway, listen, before we get into that, and we want to see what people's opinions on Timo Werner are, just going to the chat. Hodgod 10 is saying, good evening, come on, you Spurs. How are you, Hodgod? And ENS saying, evening, Hod. And this is apologies for the previous little technical difficulties.
How long have we been using StreamYard, Philip?
This quite a while, but this is a slightly upgraded version of it. So
Yeah.
first
First live show, I balls it up. I don't know. There you go.
Well, at least you got that. You got that earlier system on the first one. It'll happen again.
Yeah.
No. Hodgon is saying good evening, Ian.
Yeah.
And Ian S, don't worry, Derm, it's all good. Yeah, we'll get there eventually. When you see what new things we've got on this, I think you'll like it.
I'm going to show one of them soon, Philip. You've been given a yellow card. I'm going to show one of them soon.
Right. Okay. Danielle Ezekiel saying, "Who do we all think Arsenal get in the next round of the FA Cup?"
I reckon
that's cruel.
Rickham, Manchester United. Philip, do you think Man City?
I think it's Man City away. I think,
I think so. Away. Or it could be Luton away.
Or it could be Maidstone United. It could be Maidstone, the lowest ranked team. I watched Maidstone's game last night against Stevenage.
Any good?
And Harvey White was playing for Stevenage. Remember the first play with that goal?
Who won?
Maidstone beat them. Maidstone beat them. Yeah. And the goalkeeper had probably the best game of his life. And at one stage, I think the ball hit the post and the bar in the same movement it would have equalised for Stevenage. If they're still there, they wouldn't score. It was just one of those games, It was like Hereford versus Newcastle many years ago. One of them,
Yeah.
So great result. And Mason, will hopefully now get a big draw in the next round.
Yeah.
And Ian S is saying, I think it was Richie all season and mostly Son being away. Yeah, well, that certainly is a good percentage of it, good percentage of it. And here he is. Good evening, Carl.
Sorry, Philip. As you can see, it's all new. Philip hasn't got any controls yet. He will get them. But it will stop Mia in future of chucking me out of my own stream. As we all know, Mia likes to do that from time to time with me. Just put something in the private chat for you why I've done it, Philip. So I'll just let you know.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Okay, no problem. We'll see that. I mean, let me see what we're talking about the FA Cup. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see what Spurs. Would it be gas if Spurs got Maidstone at home?
Yeah, it would. Big up to Ian and big up to Ian as well.
Hi, Carl. And this is big up, lads. Hope you are well. Dermot was brilliant on the Arsenal Dover watch along on Bobby's channel. Well, I didn't see it all now, but you were giving the Arsenal boys socks, Dermot. It was great. You weren't letting them go at all.
No, I was not. And I was putting some good questions about Arteta. Was it divisive in the fans? I was actually putting some really good questions to them. And Benny ended up I actually been getting your man's name wrong for about 3 streams. It's not Benny, it's Brenny. So I've been calling them the wrong name for 3 streams, 3 watch-alongs.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm sure he doesn't mind.
Nice lad.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, Chris is saying, "Hi, Chris. How did Carlisle get on yesterday on your long trip down to Exeter? Imagine Carlisle to Exeter. It's about 6 hours. Anyway, Werner is a decent signing, in my opinion. He drags defenders out and runs in behind defenses. It's just his end product. Yeah, that's what I was saying. He is a little bit wayward when it comes to finding the goal, but hopefully that will come. I mean, we get Maddison back in to make the bullets for him. Hopefully he can fire them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you guys think Werner will play in the wing or play the centre forward role in the Ange? I think it's best on wing, the Son in the middle. Yeah, funny. I would go with him down because of his height. I put him down the middle because more chances to cross the ball in for him. But we don't cross balls in if we've got Son in the middle because he's not good. He's not tall. But maybe we'll see. But I would actually prefer him to be down the middle. But we'll see what happens. We'll leave it to whatever Ange puts him. I'd be happy.
Yeah, that is true. There you go. We've got
Carl is saying, clip it here. Ange will put his arm around Timo when he score over 10 goals this season. Well, what have we got? We've 18 matches left, possibly 20, 23 matches left. I'd expect 10 goals at least from him. Yeah.
I think so too, Philip. Look, I think it's a good signing overall. But I think they might play him on the wing and put Son in the middle. I don't know if you said that or my.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Chances are he might get a start against Manchester United on next Sunday, and that'll give us an idea of what's going. Yeah. But anyway, Carl Simpson saying, I can't help laugh. How can Arsenal have as many shots and still lose 2-0? I think if it was still there with no goalkeeper in the goal, they wouldn't score. I mean, okay, I know they were unlucky, they hit the bar, but the finishing was dreadful today. It was dreadful.
Yeah, it really was.
Saka was one of the biggest offenders as well.
Apparently, a lot of fans are not happy with him at Arsenal, how he's been playing. And they reckon that he's losing his touch a little bit. He didn't look good today again.
No,
I like this for me and S.
Carl Simpson, I couldn't help but laughing at Dirk at the straight face when the scouts won. But were you behind? We had to score before you could see the goal happening.
Yeah, I was 5 minutes behind the whole game, right? So I could see Brenny down below getting all excited, Bobby doing stuff, and I'm just sitting there watching the game going.
But did you see what happened just before they got that second goal?
Yeah.
Nunes headed against his own post. The other end. When that happened, there's no way Arsenal scoring today.
Do you know? I when they came out, I thought why are they wearing all white? I just couldn't get it. And at one point, I said it in his commentary. I nearly shouted, "Come on, you Spurs," because I thought I was watching Tottenham at one point. I thought. And then,
in all fairness, you have to agree with why they wore all white. I mean, it's a very good cause they're backing. I'm not going to knock them out in the bill. It just looks strange to the Arsenal playing in white. It couldn't get head around.
They had no names on the back of the shirts either, Philip. Their names weren't on the back.
Oh.
No.
Oh, that's what was missing. Yeah. I mean, they actually know each other now. That's good.
Yeah. Apparently they don't. Declan. This is Ramsdale. This is Declan. You can call him traitor if you like. I thought Ramsdale had a good game actually. I thought he's at fault for the first goal. To be fair,
bad. Well, I don't think he could. Maybe he could have come out for the ball. Yeah. I think he was a bit like Onana for United last week. He could have come out for the ball, but didn't.
Yeah.
Ian saying 100%.
How I could keep a straight face was Philip, because I just sit there go. I didn't want to make them feel too bad, but I did sing in the middle. Spurs are on the way to Wembley, and Arsenal, you never beat the Tottenham. I did keep singing little songs, I was keeping it going.
But that's 3 defeats bounce for them now. That is not good form.
No, it's not.
But I'm sure it'll not be mentioned half as much as Spurs losing 3 on the bounce.
Yeah,
they get a free pass for them doing that.
Yeah.
But Paul Merson, how are you? Are you feeling okay? Good.
Apparently,
Alan Smith, Martin Keown.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Your team took a hell of a beating.
Yeah. Hang on. Can you hear me? Paul Merson, Anders Limpard, George Graham, Tony Adams, Steve Bold, Martin Keown, Ian Wright, Herbert Chapman, and I mean Herbert Chapman, Maggie Thatcher, the King. Your boys took a hell of a beating. Can you hear me? You boys took a hell of a beating.
For those of you who don't know, that is Dermot's impersonation of the Norwegian Prime Minister from 1981. I can't even think of his name now.
Do you know he's
actually? Do you know what you should do some night? Did you ever see the Muppet Show and the Swedish Chef, the way he talks? You should put that up as that speech.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you one thing, Philip. I wish I've got the other sounds like the duck sounds and that. I've got to re-download them again, but I will do it properly. But I can hear tears. I can hear tears somewhere in North London tonight. I wonder who it could be.
Yeah, around Islington up that direction, I think, But Carl Simpson has a beaut here. He says, what made me laugh at United was he spoke to Eric Ten Hag and said he had no intention of coming back to English football. Yeah. And then spoke to Ange and it was like, I am coming back to English football. Well, you see, you're coming back to a team that plays football, whereas the other one doesn't.
Yeah. Hang on, Philip. Hang on. Breaking news. This is Arteta this evening. What do we do to make Philip?
Yeah. Yes, I think that was recorded at the press conference after the match.
It was. Big up to Ian. Ian was very impressed, apparently.
There you go.
I love going on. Philip goes on there, does Saturday shows on there, right? And it's a case of Philip's very professional, very diplomatic, and very sort of does a professional job. He's a bit like the Jimmy Hill of this channel, right? Or the Brian Moore, a very professional sort of presenter, sports presenter, right? I come in, I'm a bit like Brian Clough. I just say what I'm thinking, and the hell with the consequences. So
I don't want to get cut off. Don't want to get thrown out the studio halfway through, you know.
Yeah.
Surprised that happened to you. Yeah.
Well, Ben, apparently a few people said it's like a comedy trio when us three are together, and when you're on, it's a comedy foursome. You know, it's like can't wait for they're coming onto our channel for the North London Derby. You do realise that, Philip?
Yeah.
To our neck of the woods.
Yes.
Looking forward
Chris
to
Welsh
that.
is saying we lost 2-1. Oh my God! Exeter scored 2 lucky rebound goals. We got consolation goal late on. Frustrating how lucky goals were, but I blame our midfield for being ghosts. To be honest, oh God,
Yeah.
An awful long trip back up home after losing 2-1 in Exeter of all places, you know. But anyway, next onwards and upwards, Chris. You'll win the next one. And Janet's Fusion is saying Arsenal attackers sound a bit Tony deaf. So I think there's a bit of a please sign me from Ivan Toney in that one.
Apparently, Philip. Apparently, Paul Merson is giving him tips how to sign for Arsenal.
They're taking a bet on it. I bet he doesn't sign for them.
You and me are the more and wise of YouTube community. You know that.
Ivan Toney,
Big up Ines. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button.
And Kev Williams, hiya Kev. Good evening, Dermo and Philip. How are you? Well, we're great. We've got a weekend where Tottenham won and Arsenal lost, and happy days, you know.
And we're in the next round of the FA Cup. Spurs are on
the draw is at 10-8 tomorrow night, by the way, before the Wigan Manchester United.
And as stated, where we get the second part of my Spurs are on the way to Wembley song will be finished by round 4.
I thought you were doing a line every time we got through a round. So we finished by the time we get to the final.
do the second line now for round 4.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Neil Shafton, hi Neil, over in LA. Best tweet so far. Only one North London team remaining in the FA Cup. The other will be watching the Antiques Roadshow. Yeah, that's a good one.
I love that. I love that.
It is. Oh no, Strictly Come Dancing is on here now. So you can be watching that as well.
Yeah.
Carl Simpson, Kevin Keegan should have used that in his rant at Manchester United back in the 90s. Yeah. Was it not Liverpool he did the rant at? Was it Liverpool and Man United?
I think it was at Liverpool, but it was against Ferguson.
Right, yeah. Maybe, yeah.
Do you think that's when they lost the title that year when he did that rant? I think that's when Fergie knew he had him.
Probably. Yeah, I think so. I think he showed a weakness by doing that.
Yeah.
And Neil again, I hear screams at their TV, get him out of here, get that manager out of here, he's dross. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on social media here this evening questioning Arteta's judgment and his position at Arsenal. So we can watch this space on that one, you know. Anyway, Kev is saying, I'm really excited to see what Timo brings to the team. It's a no-lose signing, in my opinion. It is. Okay, it's costing us his wages, but I mean, by any player in you pay his wages, but just that we're getting them for maybe a loan fee, but certainly it's not a big transfer fee. And we have the option to buy him in the summer if he turns out that he's good. And Carl is saying, I watched his press conference and he was like a petulant child. When isn't he? When isn't Arteta like a petulant child? It's always somebody else's fault or something there was never him. It's never him. And throwing his toys out of the pram now has become quite a weekly occurrence with him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And Neil again is saying, I watched the watch-alongs on time. How long Troops builds up to the level 10 scream? That's the Arsenal fan show, Arsenal TV. Yeah, I think you need to watch that with the volume down, you know. I must actually go over there tonight and have a look at it. I haven't had a good laugh in ages.
We were talking about AFAT actually on the watch-along I did with Bobby and Brenny. And there's a lot of fans do not like that. Do not like AFTV. So a lot of fans that don't represent Arsenal fans. They represent something different. And I look, you got the Armory, which I think is a very fair-minded. We've been on it a few times, Philip, ourselves with Bobby and that.
Yeah.
Very fair-minded, very fair fans banter, great, but they're very serious about their team. The likes of AFTV are not serious about the teams. They want Arsenal to lose to get more viewers than that, which I think is the wrong way. If you're running a YouTube channel for a football
viewers,
club,
they're more concerned about the viewing figures than the result. I think that's the best way of putting it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Carl is saying it's Bobby's face. You can see the pain in his eyes. He even started feeling a little bit bad from just a bit. Yeah, I mean, Bobby's a good lad. I mean, Bobby is a good lad, and I would have, if I have sympathy for any Arsenal fan, it's for Bobby.
Yeah, and Brenny. I like Brenny as well.
And Brenny, Brenny. I forgot about him. Yeah.
Today he had a green screen on, right, Philip, and he was coming in and out of the green screen. So it was like one minute it was there, next minute it was gone. Next minute it was so funny. It was just blooming hilariously funny. I couldn't stop laughing.
Good. And talking of laughing, Merson to Tony, just sniff along the dotted line. Yes.
No, for said that. Yeah. As Philip just wipes his nose.
He copped that. I was good. I was trying to be very subtle there. Carl Simpson is saying Arsenal can't afford 100 million FFP and all that. True.
If you notice Philip sort of darting his head down, you know what he's up to, guys.
Hang on.
Oh, what's he doing now?
Well,
we know who you bank with.
you know what you do with them things, So.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I just know who you bank with now, Philip. You've just shown me.
Oh dear. Yeah.
No, Mrs. Brady. Philip, have you got the credit card? Yeah. Hang on, love. I'm just washing it. Why are you washing it? It's in the. Yeah. I've got it a bit dirty in the washing machine.
What's that white powder on? Anyway,
it's baby powder for my hair.
Washing powder. It's gas.
Yeah.
Chris Welsh, Carlisle are down, unfortunately. I don't trust us even if we do win. I know we will lose next game. More chance of Gemma Collins losing weight. And Carlisle getting back-to-back wins. Oh, dear, that's cutting that. Poor old Gemma Collins. Anyway, so.
Oh, sorry, Philip. Sorry.
Anyway, Chris, you're a Liverpool fan as well, so at least you had one good result this weekend anyway, Carl Simpson, I for one thinks Arteta should get a new 10-year contract. I think he should get a 15-year contract.
Do you know what? I agree with you, Philip. I really do. I really do. I think Arteta's doing a fantastic job at Arsenal. He really is.
Yeah, he really is.
Trust the process. Really Arsenal fans have to trust the process, Philip.
Yeah, that's true. And Neil again, AFTV is like Instagram. It's all about getting followers. That's why it's the same people all the time, either oozing happiness or ready to commit murders. That's it. It's clickbait, really. They want. It's. Do you know what it's like, Neil? It's a bit like the mainstream media. And I know you live in the States. It's a bit like the mainstream media. They'll put out stuff out that they know will gather viewers. It might not necessarily be what people want to hear or what's going on, but it's just selective stuff to gather the people in. And bums on seats means advertisement, and that's all they want. Anyway, Loose Chill Music is saying Werner is in London apparently. Well, if he's having his medical tomorrow, I would expect he probably came in today at some stage.
I'm heard he is in Philip already. He's been here most of the day, so I say he's doing. Isn't it 2 parts to a medical?
Usually. So
he's probably done the first part tonight and do the second part tomorrow before he signs the contract.
I'm sure Spurs have probably put him up in a plush Travelodge hotel or something somewhere, some of the they might even stretch to a 2-star hotel for him,
They might have him in Spurs Lodge.
They probably will have, that's it. Carl Simpson, what's your account number at Open Security? We're gonna have your I get emails every day about saying you haven't paid your motorway toll. So please send your bank card details, and we'll pay. You can pay it over. The fact that I'm on direct debit every month for it doesn't. But some of the people obviously actually fall for that type of thing. It's incredible.
Yeah, they do.
Anyway, Neil again is saying Arsenal fans in front of the tube station busking for coppers to pay off the fines. And Simply Ace, that's another name. That's a new name. I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah,
Hi, Simply Ace. Good, welcome. And good evening, everyone. I just hope we can get home ties in the FA Cup. And on our lot, we may get Liverpool away. Yeah, that's the thing. I was just saying earlier that I'd love to get Maidstone at home or Maidstone away. The ground holds 4,000 people. It'd be a bit like going back to, remember we got Marine up in Lancashire there a couple of years ago. Yeah. I would like Wrexham in the fourth round of the FA Cup. I'll tell you, I would not like to go to Wrexham. No. We had experience there a few years ago and it wasn't easy. Home draw against Wrexham will be a brilliant draw for them, but I just want a home draw, not who it's against,
So anyway, Philip, let's start
the next bit of transfer news.
Well, I want to give you a little bit of a timeline of what happened yesterday. Now, this all come out. It all come out of the blue, didn't it? Because I rang you, Philip. You were doing a watch along.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was around the time that I got news about Thomas Tuchel. Now, we're going to start with the Eric Dyer stuff first. Because that, to me, Philip, I don't know for you, is that the most bizarre transfer in transfer history? Eric Dyer comes to Bayern Munich.
It's certainly one of them, really. I mean, what I keep saying is, if the lad gets a transfer, good luck to him, and hope he does well over there. But he really should have been expecting a downward move rather than one like this. At his stage of his career, and the fact that he hasn't been playing very well recently either. But Harry Kane has to be in there somewhere. Harry Kane has to be has something to do with it.
Do you remember Danny Rose when he was looking before he went to Newcastle? He was looking at Juventus or Real Madrid. Do you remember in the documentary?
Yeah.
Eric Dyer, right? I feel sorry for Danny Rose who never got his big move. Eric Dyer, who is absolutely useless defending. The fastest we ever saw him was him running off the pitch to go to the toilet. It shows having friends in high places works, doesn't it?
But it might suit him. The German league will be a slower pace than the Premiership. It might just suit him out there. It might just suit him. He's not playing against the best standard centre forwards every week either. No. But it's either that or, as I said yesterday, he's going out there to walk Harry Kane's dogs.
I'm just shocked by the Eric Dyer thing. We've got a few comments here, Philip. Where we've got Neil Shafton here.
If we get Liverpool, that would be 2 more chances to shut them up. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, no, keep away from Liverpool. Give me Maidstone, please, says Carl. Yeah. It'd be bring back the romance of the cup. Lou is saying, I don't think Dyer is going to Bayern. Well, it's looking like he is.
Well, I'll give you what I got given yesterday, Philip. And look, I know when it comes to transfers, you and me are very different on transfers here, right? I'm fully committed 100%, where you're sort of 60, 70%. You're the smarter move. You're the gentleman that let's see things play out. Well, I'm just the idiot that goes in head first, arse out, straight in, to hell with the consequences. You take more like I take the Del Boy route, right, which is straight into hell with the consequences. You take the more, how can I put it, Boise route. Just step back, do your surroundings, and a bit of, maybe Boise's the wrong word, Philip.
Boise.
I'm trying to think.
As long as it's not Trigger, anyway. As long as it's not Trigger.
Who is the fella? Who is Minder? What was his name?
George Cole.
Yeah, you're a bit like
Arthur
his
Daly.
character.
Arthur Daly.
Arthur Daly. You're a bit like Arthur Daly, right?
Worse than Boise.
No,
actually, you'll be hearing from my solicitor about that. Arthur Daly was a rogue.
Who was better, Arthur Daly or Boise? Who was the better con man?
Probably Arthur Daly was, but
I used to love watching Minder. They're showing it tonight before. But the point I'm trying to make, Philip's more diplomatic in his feelings. He won't believe, and he's right to, I suppose, in a way, to the shirts up in the air. But I'm more, the hell with the consequences. I'm with it 100%. Now, Philip, let's see what you think of this one, because I think this is bizarre. Thomas Tuchel already approved an Eric Dyer as a candidate for Bayern last summer. So why is it taking them 6 months just to do this transfer, right? And he's back on the list now.
Well, I would say it's because whenever it was done 6 months ago, Harry Kane had only just arrived at the club and hadn't been speaking to Thomas Tuchel about it. I'd say Harry's been bigging up this move for Eric Dyer. Because he's a mate of his and whatever. it's either that or the Bayern Munich are laughing so much it took him 3 months to calm down, and now he's reintroduced the scenario to them with Harry Kane's backing. So it's hard to know. But but then again, maybe back in the summer, Spurs didn't really want to let him go anywhere because he thought he might have been a part of the squad. Now it's evident he's not. So time to go. And if we get 5 million for him, happy days.
Yeah. He's considered this is what was written. He's considered a versatile player with experience and ready to help immediately. Right. Okay. I don't know where he's versatile.
And see how he does. He's probably good at pouring pints. Probably good at pouring pints for the Oktoberfest.
Yeah. He's good at cleaning stadiums as well, Philip. He likes running up stadium steps and that.
True, yeah.
He's a bit like Rocky.
Mind you, he's going to a lovely city. He's going to a beautiful place if he is going there.
So. Yeah. Bayern have 3 options for a new centre-back decision soon. Spurs open to letting him go. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Of course they're open to letting him go. Do you think the Radu deal and Eric going out is a bit too much of a coincidence, Philip? Do you think that is why they're allowing Dyer to go? Because they know that Radu deal is still going on. The latest I got on that tonight was yesterday that understand Tottenham have made new contact with Genoa for Radu. Talks were still ongoing, expected to continue over the weekend. Personal terms remain agreed with Spurs. Genoa insisted on a 30 mil guarantee fee. Formal official bid expected soon, as it's stated before. So Dyer going out, Radu coming in. Do you think that's the way it's going to go, Philip?
Well, I think it would be foolish to let Dyer go without a replacement coming in, even though we've used him a couple of times by necessity with the fact that Romero and Van de Ven are out. So yeah, I would think once the Radu Dragusin deal gets the green light, Eric will be on his bike, whether it's the Bayern Munich or Blackburn Rovers. It'll be summer. It'll be gone out of the club.
Do you think also, Philip, that Tottenham will cancel Dyer's contract if he doesn't move to Bayern? No. Do you think that's already in the works?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're going to put it like this: if they cancel his contract, they're going to pay him whatever he's paying. What's he on? 70 grand a week, or for the next 6 months? That's a lot of money. Yeah, they probably will. They probably will. If he doesn't get a move, they will cancel it. Let him find the club himself. Yeah.
Now, let's go back to the Timo thing, Philip. I got a sort of like a time of what happened. So at 20-2 yesterday, I got this. Where is it? I got told it's not there, is it? Yeah, I got this. Now at 20-2, it's not in the Leipzig squad for today's game. He's ready to join Tottenham on loan in the next 48 hours. Well, the first thing I did was fall off my chair. Second thing I did was scream with annoyance that I couldn't do anything about it because I had no internet. Thank you, Mr. Virgin. You're very kind. And thirdly was to ring Philip, but he was already on the stream. And of course, me and Philip then very quickly got a stream together. I did on my phone, and I apologize again, Philip. I watched some of it back. It did sound perfect, but on my end, it was glitchy as hell. So
it was fine. It was fine. A huge amount of viewers as well. So they really caught the imagination, that one.
So that was that 20-2. We got this news. Then at 5:15, I got this news. That Tottenham will cover 100% of Timo's salary until June as part of the agreement with RB Leipzig. Medical tests booked. He is due to travel this weekend in order to be ready for training next week. Now, it's very quick how this deal came about, Philip. So what will he bring, do you think, to the squad? I have got a question here for you, Philip. Will Timo be a replacement for Richie? I tell you why I asked that very quickly. Because of Saudi clubs coming in for Richarlison, which we have previously discussed, Philip. So is he a short-term fix, or is he the long-term replacement?
It could be either. If Richie stays, right, then the two of them are going to be fighting it out for the position, right?
Yeah.
If Richie goes, then he is a replacement for him. I think again, Ange probably knows something more about what's going to happen to Richie in the long run. If this Saudi thing is actually going to happen or not. But if it doesn't, It's no hand of the two of them there because we need cover in each position, and that gives us cover for the centre forward position. So, well, he's not. He might be a replacement, but then again, he might not. It could be just competition.
Yeah. Look, for me, Philip, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this deal. I think it's a good deal for Tottenham. I think it's a no lose situation.
Yeah,
but I'm a little bit. Sorry, Philip. Go on.
No, I'm only saying it is a no. It's a win-win. A win-win. I'm not paying a transfer fee. If we like him, we pay the transfer fee.
One thing that worked. Yeah, sorry, Philip. I'm lagging, so it's my end that's lagging. So
go on.
Do you think also that after Richie's performance on Friday, Philip, that something had to change? Because you saw the game better than I did. Because of my internet problems. How disappointed were you with Richie? And do you think this is Ange's quick sort of, right, I need to sort this. I need to sort it now. Let's get this fella in.
No, still, I think this may have been in the pipeline longer than before Friday night's game. I think they may have gotten a whisper that this guy was available and they've been working on it. I know it's been done very quickly, but I get the feeling there's been a little bit more spade work done before Friday. Friday night would obviously, Richie's performance was not good. And you would, in the timeline you've given, you would think naturally enough that, Ange had enough and gone for Timo Werner as a replacement. But I think there's more to it than that. But don't forget, Richie has scored a few goals. It's not as if he hasn't troubled the scorers. He scored 4 or 5 goals, which is probably not enough, but at least he's scoring. He had a couple of chances on Friday, which he really should have buried, but didn't, And but then again, I will say he made a couple of brilliant trackbacks and interceptions and tackles in his own half of the field, which you wouldn't normally expect from a centre forward to be doing. So, he wasn't totally rubbish on Friday night. It's just at the sharp end, he wasn't sharp enough.
Yeah. I'm just putting something in here, Philip, about the Arteta thing. It's really struck me about that. Everyone's complained about Tottenham and the amount of how much that managers over the years at Tottenham have been criticised, and rightly so as well, Philip. Do you think that if you look at Arsenal and you look at Tottenham, who's the better club at the moment? Who's in the better state for the second half of the season?
I think Tottenham are, because Arsenal have been playing pretty much okay. They've had some injuries, nothing major. We've played the last 7 or 8 weeks without our creator, James Maddison, without our best without really our best 2 centre backs, Romero and Van de Ven, and we've been missing Bissouma as well, and now we've lost Sonny, Bissouma, and Sarr. So they'll all be back for the second half of the season, the guts of the second half of the season. And if we're strengthening the squad with the likes of Draguso and Werner, then I think Tottenham are on the up. Arsenal are 10 points worse off now than they were this time last season. So they are not firing on all cylinders. Whereas we've got to where we are literally by the performance of the squad members, not the first full team or the first choice 11. Which we will be getting now over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
So I would suggest Spurs will be back to playing like they were the first 6 or 7 weeks of the season before the end of January.
Yeah. Do you want to go through some of these comments here, Philip? I'll bring them up, then you can.
Martin 958 saying Port Vale till I die. I hope you're well. Port Vale, how did they get on yesterday? They were drawing at one stage. I can't remember how they actually finished up.
I don't think he's a Port Vale fan. I think it's a joke at us, I think, Philip. Because we did something one stream and it came up to Port Vale, do or die. We'll do another.
That's okay. No, I thought maybe if I'm playing for Port Vale, it might have been a Spurs connection. But anyway, Neil again, as Gold stated, even if he has trouble finishing, we have speed with Johnson, Son, Werner, and Richie. So now we have the chance to run teams ragged and then bring off a speedster off the bench. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think the Spurs attack. I think for Spurs, the best form of defense is attack. From now on, we get these lads back up fit again. When we get our centre backs back, and let's face it, we could shortly have 3 excellent centre backs to choose from, and that steady up the defence a little bit. We'll actually have people playing in the right positions, not like 4 fullbacks that we have been for the past month or so. So Anyway, the other saying, feed the hammer on the wheel, Dermot. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I'll
You're
feed
smiling,
Philip after this. I feed Mr. Brady after the stream. Don't worry, I'll give him his peanuts and his pink M&Ms.
M&Ms, Martin 958. In terms of Timo Werner to score, hopefully.
Yeah.
Be nice to start off at Man United. And Ian S is saying, Richie work hard for the team, but unfortunately he's no good at what he's been paid for. I wouldn't say he's no good. He's probably not as good as he should be. That might be the best way of putting it, you know. He scores, but not often enough.
Well, where do you think he's failing? Where do you think is the one game that you think he needs to train on? Where would you put it?
I think he's trying too hard. I think possibly he's better off coming in from the left-hand side where he played at Everton. You know, he's not really a target man as such. That's why I think Werner could be more of a target man up there, you know?
Yeah.
I think, okay, he did have his injury problems. He had his psychological problems as well, which we thought were behind him when he came back there a month ago. But I think he's still fighting his demons a little bit, whatever they are. And but there's not like a few goals to banish the demons. And I hope whoever gets the nod to play does that. And if Richie goes to Saudi, all the best. But we should never have paid 60 million for him anyway. So he's not worth that much.
Do you think Philip, he should never have left Everton? He should have stayed where he was.
I'm not saying he should never have left Everton. I mean, he had a good season for him. That's why he was transferred to us. But I think Everton saw us coming with a price tag. I mean, he's not worth 60 million.
No.
You know, and funny enough, he scores goals for fun for Brazil. You know, it's very strange. Very strange. I mean, remember the goal he scored in the World Cup? With the goal one of the best goals ever in the World Cup. You know. So, anyway, let's hope the fact that he now sees Werner coming in will gee him up to raise his game up to another level to compete with him. You know. And Jazz Fusion is saying depends on injury status.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And Neil again, on paper it's different, but at full strength we are a better side when healthy. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, exactly.
And Neil again, Vicario was a big reason. The cheap. I'm honest to God, can you imagine if we bought Raya?
Can I just say I'm sick to death of this Philip hearing about Vicario being the cheap option. Ange wanted that goalkeeper. It was the right decision for the right keeper for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Philip? Brentford.
It was.
Brentford.
Go on, you're lagging again.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, a lot of fans were disappointed we didn't buy Raya. I bet they're not so disappointed now.
I felt like Brentford were trying to bully us into buying Raya. That's how I felt at that. Do you know?
Yeah. Well, we didn't fall for it. So you know.
No.
And Vicario has been unbelievable, absolutely brilliant. You know, and Martin is saying some weeks ago Port Vale came. Well, that's because Andy Devine's playing with them. That's probably why we brought that up. You know. And simply Ace, I think Timo Werner has had a terrible couple of seasons and has lots of potential, being quick, dribbling past players at pace, and getting to good positions. He's a Champions League winner. He is. He's got a Champions League winner medal with Chelsea. So as I keep saying, let's forget his Chelsea past. It's what happens from now on that matters to us, not what he did in the past, you know. And Carl Simpson is saying, you know what they say about Phillips. Don't feed them after midnight and don't spill water.
My young lad's called Philip as well. So you don't feed. I'm going to say this to my missus, see what she says. Apparently you don't feed Phillips after midnight. They're like, she's laughing. She's seen the fun. It's If you feed this Philip after midnight, he becomes a massive Tottenham fan, bigger than he is now.
Yes.
Actually, a question I want to ask you, Philip. You've seen all the best strikers at Tottenham, right, over the years. Jimmy Greaves, Martin Shivers, Garth Crooks, Steve Archibald, Lineker. We saw Klinsmann doing. I saw most of them. What makes a good Tottenham striker? What makes if you could take one from each of them players, what makes the best Tottenham striker?
Well, obviously, the ability to score goals is the main criteria for a striker. But I mean, those strikers are different. Jimmy Greaves used to pass the ball into the net. If you watch Jimmy Greaves' goals, very few of them are rockets. He passes the ball into the same with his penalties. Martin Shivers is different. He was powerful in the air. So was Alan Gilzine. Gary Lineker was good in the air and on the ground. Jurgen Klinsmann was just good everywhere. Garth Crooks and Steve Archibald had a brilliant combination as well. Who else have we got? Dimitar Berbatov and Robbie Keane were like little and large, were brilliant, really were good. So I don't know. It's each of them has their own characteristics that none of them are identical to any other one. They're all unique, really are all unique. Different types of players. Some come in from deep. Some are great tap-in merchants. Some score spectacular goals. You know, and but they're all predators. And I mean, look at the amount of goals Jimmy Greaves scored for us. What he would do today if he was playing would not be worth thinking about. He would ruin defenses at the moment, the way he played. Brilliant.
Do you know Clive Allen as well?
Clive Allen, 49 goals in 86 87. Yeah. And he was another great one. And his father, Les Allen, was a great striker as well.
Yeah. I tell you one thing. There is a show, we are doing the show in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be in the podcast anyway, of me and Philip picking our all-time Premier League 11. From the manager to the formation to everything. So that's coming up. That I think we might do that in the next podcast for a bit of fun, Philip, on a Saturday evening.
Why not?
A little bit of fun.
Now,
look, why I asked the question was, since Harry Kane left, we've sort of got by with other players scoring goals, Philip.
Yeah.
Is it important that Tottenham buy a proper number 10 or number 9 in the summer? Or do you go on the road of every player must score? It's better that way than having one player like a Jimmy Greaves, like a Martin Shivers, like players we've discussed. Where do you think works best for Tottenham?
I think, you know, if you're relying totally on one person to score, right, then you're in trouble if he gets injured. It's where the goal's going to come from. I think it's always better. Like even when Jimmy Greaves was scoring loads of goals, Alan Gilzean was scoring goals as well. So was who else played with him? Alan Mullery. Dave McKay scored a few goals. If you're better off if you've got, say, Werner playing up front and scores 10 goals, right? 10, 15. Sonny playing on the left, he scores 15. Brennan Johnson comes in and weighs in with 10. And then you've got the midfielders. Madison, there's a few goals in Madison as well. There's goals in Papa Sarr. Spurs have potentially got a team where there's goals nearly all over the pitch. Pedro Porro. Look at that cracker he scored on Friday. He can score goals. So I think it's better off. The more goals you can have from coming from so many different directions, the better. Because teams then won't know who to concentrate on. They don't know where the firepower is coming from. And that's why I can see. I've said it before, but I can see Spurs absolutely doing a number on somebody soon.
Yeah.
Once we click.
Yeah. Do you think Ange's learning from the past? Do you think Ange's looking to the previous managers, think, right, I can take a bit out from Bill Nick, I can take a bit from Keith Birkinshaw, a bit from the AA man that likes breaking down round street corners, I can take a bit out from Harry Redknapp, a little bit of, and include it into his own philosophy. Do you think Ange's
not taking it?
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, go on there. No, go on.
Do you think he's taken the club's philosophy literally? Do you know what I mean? He said, right, to dare is to do. That is my motto. Yeah. Do you think he's taking that literally as a manager?
As long as he's not picking ideas up from Conte and Mourinho or the Garden Gnome, you know, I'd take the other managers you meant and Pochettino as well, bits of their game, but none of the last three. We don't want anything to do with them. And he has, but Ange's his own man. But look, I think we've got to look at his history. Everywhere he's been, he's improved the club he's gone to immeasurably, and he's doing the same at Tottenham. He's revolutionised that club inside of 6 months, and I thought I'd never see that done. I thought it would take an awful lot longer.
Yeah, I do know what, Philip. I'm looking at this window, really excited by the window. Where other windows, I would have been dreading it, but we seem to be quickly into business. We've got a first. Whoever thought we'd get a player in within a week of the window?
Yeah, it's unheard of at Tottenham, you know.
And with nearly 2 coming in, right? And you look at the great managers of the past, Bill Nick, Keith Birkinshaw, managers like that run Tottenham from top to bottom. Ange runs that club top to bottom, I would say.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Would you say or not?
Well, I mean, in the playing side anyway, I think what he's done, he said to Daniel Levy, listen, Daniel, I will do what you pay me for if you let me have a free reign and let me have control over certain aspects of the club, which I think Daniel Levy has agreed to. And allow me to get rid of players I don't want and bring in players that I do want. And that's what's happening.
Yeah.
And we mentioned Clive on there. So I absolutely think that Ange has, you only have to talk to Celtic fans. When he arrived at Celtic were a mess. I know they were winning the title, but that wasn't too hard. But they were a mess. 6 months later, he had them purring. And he's doing the same to Tottenham, albeit he's had problems along the road here. He's had the injuries and the suspensions. But once they're ironed out with the system, just watch us go. Watch us go.
Yeah. I mean, look, Philip, me been watching Tottenham long enough. You longer than me by a couple of years. Only 2. Yeah. But no, look, I've never been so excited about the rest of the season than I am on the ranch. Whatever happens, it's been a hell of a season so far, Philip. I think I'm enjoying this more than even the Poch era. And that's me being honest. Yeah. I don't think Poch. I'm looking back at the Poch era, Philip. Sorry. I'm looking back at the Poch era thinking I'm not enjoying that. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I did. I'm loving this.
Yeah. I think when we got Ange, we were spouting for Ange to come once his name was mentioned back in the summer. And a lot of other people didn't want him. They wanted Nagelsmann. They wanted, what's the name, the other guy? Slot. Yeah, slot machine. But we said, no, we were talking to Paul in Australia, who's first-hand knowledge of what the guy did in Australia. And he says, no, Ange is the man. And how has that proved to be right? You know, I mean, he's done in 6 months what I should think. If we were sitting at the end of next season and we were here where we're at the minute, I think we'd be happy. He's done it so quickly. Like to be top of the league after 7 or 8 matches, we did not think that was possible. You know, and we're still 6 points off the top after having all those injuries and all those suspensions, and we're still hanging in there. And we're only going to get better for the next second half of the season. So I'm not. As I said to Dermot, I'll wait till after the Man United game before I buy me ticket for the Delusional Express. But at the minute, if we win that game, I will start to believe. But even if we don't win that game, I think we're quids in for a top 4 finish.
Yeah, we are. We really are. Big up to our Cockroaches. It's evening, gents. Coys in Ange we trust. Of course, in Ange we trust. Now, Philip, just a quick question here. With Timo in the door, Radu also close to signing with Spurs, how many more do you think Spurs will get in before the 1st of February?
I would say if we get one more, if we get those 2, that would be very, very good. If we get one more, I think that would be an absolutely incredible window for us. Now, I don't even know who we're going to get. Is it going to be a midfielder? I read some of this evening. Again, this is a rumor. I don't know whether it's in the Juventus. I'm not interested in Højbjerg, right? So
I heard that as well.
We've got to assume somebody else is. You know, somebody's going to buy him. I would love to see Conor Gallagher coming. If we got Conor Gallagher, that'd be happy days for me.
Yeah, right. I want to ask a question that Philip. Now we're on Gallagher. Look, Chelsea and Tottenham don't do business together, right? That's just we know that. I said earlier today, I think it'd be more of a summer signing. But if Chelsea are in as much trouble as they are in with FFP, and Tottenham come in on the last day of the window, the last few days of the window, with a 40, 41, 42 million pound bid, would Bowley accept that, do you think? And say, right, we have to take what we can get?
It could well be. If Spurs play it cute, I think at the moment Chelsea will play hardball because it's only, the 7th or 8th of January. Yeah. But I think in 2 weeks' time, when we get towards the last week of the window, and Chelsea are looking at the books and thinking, but we need to balance the books here. That could well be a good time to go. In fact, I would leave Gallagher on the long finger until near the end of the transfer window because that's the best time to get him, not now.
Look, I can see it happening, Philip. I can see him.
I hope so.
Would he improve the Tottenham midfield, do you think? Would he be an improvement?
Yeah,
would he be an upgrade on Højbjerg?
Yeah. Like Højbjerg is a good player. I love Højbjerg, but when you see a player like Gallagher possibly available, he's definitely an upgrade on Højbjerg.
Yeah.
And he will give us a lot more stability in that midfield. And plus, he can pick a pass. as well.
Yeah, he can.
He's another one that can weigh in with a few goals as well. So, you know, we want to have goals coming from all over the pitch.
Yeah.
And Gallagher would be an absolute addition to that.
Look, I love Højbjerg. You know I do, Philip. Got him on the back of my shirt. Absolutely adore the guy, the Danish destroyer. But what done it for me was the Brighton game, Philip, when he pulled out. You're the one that pointed out to me. I didn't see it till I rewatched the game. He pulled out of 3 or 4 challenges that evening, that night.
Yeah, that's unforgivable.
Now, you said it in the watch along that that's him going to be moved. Yeah. Do you think he will move? Where do you think he will end up?
Well, we've heard Spain mentioned, we've heard Italy mentioned. He could end up with someone like Fulham either. You just don't know. But it's the fee. Like, we're looking for 25 million for him, you know, which is a hefty chunk of what we'd have to pay for Gallagher. Whether we're going to get that, I just don't know. But I don't know if what Juventus are saying. I have no idea whether it's true or not. If Juventus are no longer interested, that narrows the field a little bit. So I don't know where he's going to go. You know, right. It could well be if he's going nowhere, he stays where he is. You know?
Well, I'm going to put it out there. Gallagher, money plus Højbjerg for Gallagher.
Chelsea wouldn't take him. Chelsea wouldn't take him.
You really think Chelsea won't take Højbjerg?
No, I don't think so. I think Højbjerg, if he goes to an English club, he'll go to someone like Fulham. Someone like that. Fulham are a good fit for him. Chelsea, no, I don't think so.
Not even Pochettino.
And that's no offense to Højbjerg. I'm not. That's no reflection on Højbjerg. I just don't think Chelsea would be interested in a swap deal. I think it'll be cash they'll want. That Højbjerg goes somewhere else. You know?
Yeah, I've just thought, Philip. I just thought I'd ask you.
No,
see what you thought.
He could be. Listen, if Timo Werner can come in on the surprise like this, maybe. You know, never say never.
Yeah. Never say. Do you want to read out a few comments? Then we've got one bit of news on the Juventus, and then we'll just go over the FA Cup today as well, Philip, the results and that. So do you want to read out comments there?
Jazz Fusion saying Gallagher deadline day if it happens. Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, I agree with you. It's going to happen near the deadline day. It'll be a last minute thing. And Gallagher's not worth more than 25 million. I think he is. But we'll see what figure they actually put on him.
Do you know
40 million probably.
I think. I reckon he's around 35, 40 million, Philip, at the most. I don't think he's worth any more than that.
Well, you know, my reaction to these huge transfers, nobody's worth the money that they paid for them. Nobody.
No.
But it's just the way they've been inflated, you know?
Yeah, but how are you going to uninflate it? That bubble will burst, Philip. How do you burst that bubble, that transfer?
Take the TV money out or reduce the TV money. That's not the kicking off them, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, Jazz Fusion saying without a doubt, Dermot.
That's about the Gallagher deal.
Gallagher thing. Bentancur and Madison from Neil again. Bentancur and Madison will be a top midfield. Adsar, wow, Bentancur is a better defender than the other two. Yeah. That's a massive midfield. Those three together, absolutely massive.
You know? Very quickly, Philip. What happens to Bissouma?
Bissouma has blotted his copybook a bit with us, I think, in recent weeks. His lack of discipline with 2 red cards, and now he's swanned off to Africa for the African Nations Cup. I think he'll be there or thereabouts, but I think those 3 would be my pick. Bentancur is like a Rolls Royce midfield. He's a lot more. He glides around the pitch, and he's a lot more effective than Bissouma is at the moment. Bissouma's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but if 4 and 3 doesn't go, well, he'd be the odd one out, in my opinion. And Ian is saying Pierre-Emile Højbjerg is worth 15 to 18 max. You're probably not far off, but I think 25 is a bit optimistic, you know. And Shamu, hiya Shamu. Can't see that, Dermot.
Oh yeah, that's with me saying what I said about Gallagher and Højbjerg plus cash.
Oh yeah, no, I think you're right, Shamu. I don't think that happening. And Carl is saying, I've heard that we've looked at Paulinho at Fulham, so Højbjerg swap for him. Now that would be a good move. If we got Paulinho, we don't need Gallagher. Paulinho is an excellent player. He really, really is good. He's not like the Paulinho we had a few years ago. He's a different Paulinho, but he's good.
Didn't we try that last January and Højbjerg refused to move?
Maybe, but that was last January. Things might have moved on a bit since then. He's no longer guaranteed football, you know, where he was maybe then at that stage, you know. And Jazz Fusions, they need money in and players out at Chelsea. Yeah, that's it. They do. And Neil again, look at what Chelsea are building. It's young players. Chelsea must. I'd love to know how many professional footballers are on the Chelsea books. It must be 50 or 60. Incredible amount. Paulinho wants Munich.
Yeah.
That was mentioned, all right, you know. Then again,
Chelsea worries me, Philip. Chelsea bloody worries me. In 3 or 4 years' time, that team will be cooking.
Well, maybe, but we've got to make sure we get ahead of them now.
Yeah.
If they can survive all this financial fair play thing, they probably will be. But that's for the future. All we're worried about is now. We can't go, you know.
No.
We stay ahead of them all the time.
Yeah.
And Paul Pablo was saying, can we sell Skip to say Norwich, that is his level? Well, Skip was player of the year at Norwich when he was there on loan a couple of seasons back. Yeah. So, that's about his level. You're dead right. Although Norwich are playing no great shakes at the minute.
Yeah. This is now a little bit of news. This is the only news I got today, Philip. It's been very quiet. Everyone has Sunday off, I think, in the transfer world. Juventus have no intention to proceed for Calvin Phillips' deal. Current conditions after talks with Man City on the loan fee salary coverage. Newcastle remain interested in Calvin Phillips. Race open. Would he be a player you would like at Tottenham?
I'd rather have Gallagher. You know, like this, the guy that went to Manchester City from Leeds, and he got a championship medal or a Premiership medal for playing about 45 minutes in the season. You know, So I wouldn't be a total fan of his, but you know, he might do a job for us. But I'd rather see Gallagher. Gallagher coming in.
And then if you just go through there, they've got 2 comments there to go through, Philip, and then I got up the FA.
Paulinho gets lots of yellow card. Well, you know, so do some of our own players. He'd feel well at home at Tottenham with the yellow card scenario. And
right, so and then we've got this bottom one here from Carl. Sorry, Philip.
Bayern can't afford him. They use the money on Kane. I think they could afford Eric Dyer. I think they might, you know, I don't think it'd be too hard on them.
Now, FA Cup, Philip, it is the 3rd round weekend. Firstly, apologies for no Saturday around the grounds yesterday. Internet problem. I was so looking forward. Philip, I was really excited, wasn't I, about FA Cup 3rd round Saturday.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's always a big Saturday.
I love the FA Cup. Friday, Philip, just a few results. Brentford 1, Wolves 1, so that goes to a replay. Fulham beat Rotherham 1-0, and then Tottenham beat Burnley 1-0. Now, Saturday, Maidstone, that's an upset. Any other upsets in there?
Will I just go down them here? FA
Actually,
Cup,
Philip,
Saturday.
I'll tell you what, I've got the scores here. I'll share them onto the screen for you. So we're on there. I don't know if you can see that. Can you?
No, not really. I'll read them out there, but I have them here. I have them in front of me here. It's very hard to read
I've
that,
got them there. People can see them anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's AFC Wimbledon 1, Ipswich 3. Coventry 6, Oxford United 2. Maidstone 1, Stevenage. That's a big shock, actually. League 1 team beaten by a non-league. Millwall 2, Leicester 3. That was a good game. Sunderland 0, Newcastle 3. Sunderland never laid a glove on them. Blackburn 5, Cambridge United 2. Gillingham 0, Sheffield United 4. Good result for Sheffield United, that. Hull 1, Birmingham 1. Newport 1, Eastleigh 1. That was a shock. I thought Newport would have won that. Norwich 1, Bristol Rovers 1. Plymouth 3, Sutton 1. QPR 2, Bournemouth 3. QPR were 2-0 up in that match.
Yeah. Can you read that now,
4...
Philip, on the screen there? I've got
I can read it now. Yeah.
Is that better?
That's better, yeah. Sunderland, where am I? Stoke 0, Brighton 2, Spoke 2, Brighton 4.
Yeah.
The next one is I think I've done those down some of those actually.
Okay.
And I'll read them. Newport, I'll do them again. Newport County 1, Eastleigh 1. Blackburn 5, Cambridge 2. Norwich 1, Bristol Rovers 1. Plymouth 3, Sutton United 1.
Is that Norwich game a surprise for you, Philip?
No, not really. No, not really. Norwich aren't playing well at the moment.
No.
They're not the team
Plymouth
they were
as well.
at all. Plymouth 3, Sutton. Hull 1, Birmingham 1. Birmingham actually drew a game after the Wayne Rooney scenario.
Right. Yeah, I've never asked you a question on that, Philip. Very quickly, sorry. Has Wayne Rooney become the best manager in league football to take a team backwards?
Well, if you can, I don't think any manager's taken a team from 6th to 20th in 15 matches. That really takes some skill to do that, you know. Yeah, so I don't think they'll be queuing up to hire Wayne Rooney. Well, they might grab a granny night, but not for football teams, you know.
Man United are in for Wayne Rooney as their next manager, apparently.
Oh, good. All right, that's good. That's all right. So that means Man United will be about fourth in Division 2 by the time the season comes
The
around.
Glazers want to see what the Championship footballs are like.
Yeah,
so they want to go down to that level.
Exactly. Anyway, QPR 2, Bournemouth 3. 2-0 up they were at half time, and Bournemouth came back to win that. Watford 2, Chesterfield 1. That was a good match too. Southampton 4, Walsall 0. Southampton, I think 17 matches unbeaten now. They're really going well.
They're having a great season so far, Philip, in the Championship. Absolutely.
They'll be back up. They'll be back up. Yeah. Gillingham 0, Sheffield United 4. Yeah, I've got that one. Swansea 2, Morecambe 0. Chelsea 4, Preston 0. Preston held out for the second half and then got blitzed. Middlesbrough 0, Villa 1. That was a tough game for Villa. They got through it.
Well, look, thank God, because Middlesbrough beat us last season in the FA Cup, Philip, if you remember.
That's right. They all do what it was. Yeah.
And then big up to Sheffield Wednesday, my
Wednesday
team.
4-0. That's actually surprised because Sheffield Wednesday are really near the bottom of the league. They're not doing well at all. Now today, Peterborough 0, Leeds 3. Then we've got Luton 0, Bolton 0. That's a surprise. League 1 against Premiership. West Brom 4, Aldershot 1. Handy enough. West Ham 1, Bristol City 1. In fact, I watched that bit at the end of that game. Bristol City could have won it near the end.
Is that the shock of the day for you? Is that the shock of the day for you?
It's a shock. I mean, Luton, I'd say probably Luton not beating Bolton is a bigger shock, but West Ham and Bristol City is, Shrewsbury 0, Wrexham 1. Wrexham, they're going to watch them. I think Wrexham could be the team that goes the furthest for none of the lower league teams. Man City 5, Huddersfield 0. We kind of expected that.
Yeah.
There's another shock. Nottingham Forest 2, Blackpool 2. Would have expected the Forest to win that one. And then, of course, the little matter of the team in white getting beaten 2-0 by the team in purple. Liverpool beating Arsenal 2-0 this evening and putting Arsenal to their third defeat in a row. And we can't stop crying here. We were really, really sorry for them. We really are.
Is that a hint? Is that a hint, Philip? Is that a hint for me to bring up the baby noise again? Though
I think it is, Dermot. I think it is. I think it's time we let the baby out of the pram.
Yeah. Okay. I did say this game was at Anfield, by the way.
All right. Okay.
I completely cocked up earlier. Hang on. Here we go, Philip. There you go. That's Arteta at home tonight.
Now, there you go. That's it. I think that's everything up to date now, Dermot, isn't it?
It is. Just a few questions, because tomorrow as well, Philip, we are doing the watch along tomorrow night for Wigan against Manchester United. It is a 8:15 kickoff, so will we be live here at 8 o'clock? There's a few replays, Philip. Wolverhampton against Brentford, Birmingham against Hull, then Bristol Rovers against Norwich, all on the 15th of January. Then on the 16th of January, it is Esley and Newport County. And then on the 17th, of course, it is Everton against Crystal Palace. Is that in the FA Cup or the league? That's probably the league.
No, it's the FA Cup. That was the game played on Thursday. Yeah.
So, where are we now? Who do you want to get tomorrow, Philip?
Maidstone at home.
Yeah.
Or Wrexham. Wrexham at home. That'd be a good one.
Why Wrexham?
I don't know. I just fancy playing Wrexham because there'd be a lot of publicity attached to the game because of Ryan Reynolds, the owners of Wrexham and all that. Coming to Tottenham.
The fourth round will be played on the 27th of January. Phillips have got that. The fifth round's played on the 28th of February. The final this year is the 25th of May, because Tottenham are going to be there. We'll just go through the chats, Philip, and then we will end it there, I think.
Wrexham or White Hart Lane hate that team, full of coat hanger fans. All right, that's one way of putting it. Neil Shafton, with Arteta, you need Spanish subtitles with the crying. Yeah, that's a good one. With Chris to say, maybe Arteta tell your players to bloody score. Well, that's true. They couldn't do it today. And Ian is laughing at that. So, and Chris, Arteta, we deserve to win. We deserve to win. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Within.
Sorry.
How are Villa and Birmingham not playing Sabbath pre-game though? War Pigs be an epic record song. Oh yeah, that's right. Black Sabbath. Yeah. West Ham got loads of injuries. Paqueta and Bowen both got injured and taken off. Good. Good. Wrexham in a position for League One promotion. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they're doing very well.
A bit of money can do.
Yeah.
And Shamu, so many better teams to pick than Wrexham than Paulie for one. Paulie's in Germany. Wrexham closer to Merseyside than Wales. Sure.
Yeah, that's so true. Philip, look, thank you very much for joining me. I've enjoyed tonight. It's been fun.
Good fun.
We're now back because now Mr. Virgin has now decided to do his job properly. We are now back up and running as a channel properly. We're back tomorrow at 4, Philip, and then with the watch along tomorrow night. What are you hoping for the next week for Tottenham transfer wise? How many do you want in next week? Done. Thank you.
Werner and Draguso confirmed, and I think that'll be it until maybe the end of the window. And Dyer to go, and maybe might be another couple of young lads going out on loan. Anyway, we'll see what's going to happen.
But anyway, just want to say, Carl says thank you very much. Who will you take in the draw tomorrow night? I go for as long as it's not a Premier League side.
Yeah, I'm the same. We don't want to get a Premier League. So we had one in the first round. We don't need another time. We got somebody lower in the leagues. 10 to 8 tomorrow night. We'll see.
So we'll be on about 7:45 then with the draw. Then
I want to get on for the draw. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, gents. Big up to Dermot and Philip. Shamu, Lawn Bowls live on YouTube in 3 minutes. There you go. We timed it perfectly for Shamu.
Timed it perfectly.
Dave walking in the late range. Dave Wakeland and the late ranking Roger Villians and Brummies. Oh, okay. Good night. Three in the week on top of Wayne. This is what Carl's been told. So that'd be good.
Never know. We'll see.
Yeah. Good night all. Take care and stay safe. Thanks, Derm and Phillips. Great stream as always. Thank you very much. Warner has what is it? Warner.
Werner. Yeah.
Werner has confirmed he's having the medical tomorrow. Can't wait till I want the outside the way. Big up, Swim Master. I haven't seen you for a while as well. Big up. And then we also got a Liverpool fan in first chat. Well, big up, Andy. Thank you for coming in. Congratulations on winning today.
Good
doing us all a favour.
They're putting the cheeky neighbours in their place.
Yeah. So please hit the like button. You're welcome anytime, sir. But Philip, thank you so much. And and we should just hang on there. I'll have a quick word with you when I come off, Philip. Sorry. So we will do that now. How do I? Where's the logos? Oh yeah, this one, Philip. I'm sorry for you being disrupted on the stream today. I've already booked you once, Philip. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to do this to you now. I'm sorry. This has to go. As I've just sent Philip off, breaking news on that bombshell. We'll see you tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs. In Big Ange, we trust.